Greetings, race fans. We are live here tonight from Bristol Motorspeedway for the Collectemall.com 150 for In the Zone Racing ARCA. Pardon me real quick as I switch things up here. I got the wrong project open for... Alrighty. Now it'll show In the Zone Racing ARCA Series. And yes, it is the Collectemall.com 150. The first round of the playoffs here for In the Zone Racing ARCA Series action. And it'll be interesting to see how these drivers fare here tonight with the first round of the playoffs. 12 drivers left in the mix after a good handful of them got eliminated last week at the conclusion of the final cut from Nashville Super Speedway. The drivers still alive for the drive to the championship include these 12 drivers. Dylan Bates, who had the regular season championship, Eric Tracy, Cody Bame, Mike Alexander, who had a pair of wins this season, AJ Rogers, Kieran Church, Larson Parker, Bill Tomer, who got a win a couple weeks ago, Corey Bigley, Dylan Schreiner, Matthew Barkhouse, and Daniel Pope II. And with that on the line here tonight, you know the drivers are going to show up and try just a little bit extra here with the playoffs on the line. Just getting our overlay fixed here as it glitched out on me after I retweaked the file that we're running the in the zone racing headers and everything got added on, and then it freaked it out. So reset at iRacing, reset the programs, and it should be rolling like a champ now. I've always had to figure out all these nuances when technology and me do not seem to work well together. I keep beating my head against the wall to make the electronics work for me, and it almost never does. So that has been resolved, though. So here we are, folks. With 7 minutes left in practice, we still got a little bit of air time for these drivers turning some quick hot laps here tonight. Bristol is always a fun track. It's a track that I've actually been to personally. There's not a bad seat in the house. No matter where you sit, you can see the Coliseum from every angle and see the racing action right up close and personal. Great track, great racing, and tonight should be no different. So I'm in the dark a little bit on how the playoffs work here in the ITZR playoffs. And I'm not going to do much guesstimating either, because I'm sure there's multiple different ways that the playoffs could be structured here. But what I know for certain here tonight is collectemall.com has offered up a bonus to the drivers. There's going to be 2 bonuses that these drivers will be looking forward to. Or I guess one of which you may not be looking forward to near as much, and one that obviously winning the race is something everyone looks forward to. The winner tonight will receive a $10 bonus for winning the race thanks to collectemall.com. And the other bonus that they're offering here tonight will be for a driver that loses the most positions from their starting grid, from where they start on the grid. They will get a $5 hard luck award. So like I said, not really the one you want to look forward to, but it definitely gives the drivers a little boost if their night went to crap. So far, Larson Parker fastest. Brady Weileman second. Dylan Schreiner third. Whoa, and the 00 spins it out. So, interestingly enough, Brady Weileman, who won the race last week, did not manage to get into the playoffs. We weren't sure when we closed out the broadcast last week how the system works, and it's not a win and you're in. Unfortunately for Brady Weileman, he's on the outside. He still gets to race amongst the championship contenders here, and I'm sure you want to race everyone nice and clean, and you don't want to be the target of someone's championship being in the crosshairs. So Brady Weileman, second fastest so far. Not a contender for the championship, but kind of a dark horse for that championship, I would give Mike Alexander some kudos. He has had a strong season, a quiet season, but a pretty solid one with 2 wins as well. Might look out for him. Driving the black and purple Alani Nu energy drink scheme here tonight. He's bounced around to a couple different paint schemes, and this one will look really neat under the night lights here at Bristol. As we are down to the final 2 minutes and change here in practice, we're going to be changing our focus over to qualifying. And like I mentioned, those drivers in the championship hunt, they're going to want to start off on the right foot here tonight. At Bristol, you don't really want, obviously in most tracks you don't want to start in the back, but Bristol's a little bit harder to get through the field. And if you're lucky, you'll have the inside line on a start. If you get qualified and stuck on the high side, you want to find a way down to the inside as soon as possible. So of our 12 championship hopefuls, currently the furthest back in practice here, it looks to be Cody Bame. AJ Rogers is 17th quickest. Bill Tomer 14th. Eric Tracy 13th. Dylan Bates 11th. Matthew Barkhouse 10th. Kiernan Church 8th. Daniel Pope the 2nd 7th. Corey Bigley 6th. Mike Alexander 5th. Dylan Schreiner and Larson Parker 3rd and 1st. So it looks like all of our playoff hopefuls made it in tonight's lobby here. No strange missing drivers. I'm sure at this point they wouldn't want to miss the race if they're in that playoff hunt. The title is on the line at this point, so. And that is a wrap here for practice, so we're rolling on into qualifying now. And we're going to hop on the title contenders as they run their laps here today for qualifying to see how well they may or may not start. So Dylan Bates is coming out now. We've also got Daniel Pope running at the same time here. And Mike Alexander now pops out. Daniel Pope on his first timed lap here. He comes across the line, and that is going to be good for a 15.09. Dylan Bates, 15.39. Mike Alexander is well out on track right now. He jumps to the top on his first lap with a 14.77. So that's the quickest first lap that we've seen here today. They're bouncing back and forth. Daniel Pope's fastest lap was a 14.82. Mike Alexander, his second lap was slower at a 14.87. And here we have Matthew Barkhouse Switched it up a little bit, it looks like. Number 30 instead of the number 19 here tonight. He is 5th fastest with a 14.83. AJ Rogers is getting ready to turn his lap here. Number 17 on his first time lap. Yeah, we saw a 14.77 on the first lap for Mike Alexander. That was hauling the mail. AJ Rogers with a 14.91, good for 10th at the moment. His second lap is going to be slower by 0.2, a 14.93. Now we've got another heavy hitter here. Corey Bigley could contest for a podium start here tonight. We'll see how well his laps go. And for those of you just tuning in, this is the playoff opener for the ITZR ARCA Series, brought to you tonight by collectemall.com. And that concludes qualifying here. Corey Bigley was good for 10th fastest. To have one more car out on track, it looks like Elliott Carlson. Alrighty. So, fastest in qualifying here today was Andrew Fayash III, who had a 14.76 over Mike Alexander's 14.77. And here we have our starting lineup here today. Starting from the very back, you've got the 20 of Shane Klein, number 10 of Tim Weinreich, William Griffith, and Jason Lottridge. Cody Bame starting deep, a playoff contender, very far back in the field here, with Caleb Hill starting 23rd. Josh Oswald and Elliott Carlson in the next row. Rick Rube and David Hill. Eric Tracy, another title contender, starting midfield here today alongside Tyler Rice. Then you've got Aaron Abendroth, Jeff By Jr. in the next row up. Bill Tomer and AJ Rogers, another pair of title contenders. Dylan Schreiner and Jacob Bame. Corey Bigley and TJ Allain. Dylan Bates, your regular season champion and your number 1 seed by most stretches of the imagination, there in 8th alongside last week's winner, Brady Weileman. And then your top 6, you've got Matthew Barkhouse, Larson Parker, both of them in the title hunt. Daniel Pope II and Kiernan Church, both of them also in the title hunt. And then you've got Mike Alexander, along with a non-title contender, Andrew Fayash III, starting pole position here today. So, there we go. We are getting ready to race for 150 laps here tonight from Bristol. A lot of things are going to get shaken up with the title hunt on the line. Basically, they hit the reset button. Everyone's going to have a little bit of an advantage that they may not have had with a regular full season championship. These playoffs give the drivers a chance to shake it up a little bit. Kiernan Church could be a scary contender for this title. He has he's been quiet but consistent. Pardon me, it's 125 laps, not 150. I miscalculated by 25 laps here tonight, so 125 laps will be more than enough here from Bristol.
Green.
And we are off and rolling here from Bristol, folks. Find the best camera angles. It seems like Bristol's a little bit harder on the camera crew. At the moment, it's Fayash and Mike Alexander side by side for the lead. Alexander's going to go around the outside. Definitely not the preferred lane to be, but so far making that outside line work for him. Meanwhile, it looks like the 11 of Daniel Pope II gets up to third. Fayash doing a very good job holding on to the top position there, with Mike Alexander fighting hard, tooth and nail, to get that lead away from him. Already 5 laps in the green here tonight. Fayash settles into second, and it's going to be Mike Alexander to the top spot. Here we got Daniel Pope moving up to second, and Larson Parker closing the gap as well. Larson Parker is definitely one of those drivers that has gotten hot at the end of the year here. Kind of the right time to be getting on a hot streak. And he's showing up when it matters the most.
Caution, yellow flag.
We've got our first caution of the evening here. Alexander's going to maintain the lead over Daniel Pope. And so it looks like the wreck happens here with the 17 of Josh Oswald. This is the first caution of the evening, coming at lap 6. That is the 03 of Jason Lottridge. Oh, and he just clips the 17 of Josh Oswald and gets him spun out. Looks like Oswald's going to miss it there and not hit the wall, so that's a good thing at least. Getting spun out and not hit the wall. It comes back up the track a little bit, but no harm, no foul. 17 will be able to continue on. Might need some new might need some new rubber if they've got it. A little update on your title contenders. You've got Mike Alexander leading over Daniel Pope II. Larson Parker sits in 4th. Matthew Barkhouse in 5th. Kiernan Church 6th. Dylan Bates 7th. Corey Bigley 9th. So that's already 7 of the 12 title contenders in the top 10. You've got Bill Tomer, your 8th title contender, running in 11th. 9th title contender is Dylan Schreiner in 12th. The 10th being that of AJ Rogers in 14th. 11th being Eric Tracy in 16th. And your 12th title contender is Cody Boehm all the way back in 21st. So Cody Boehm, he's got some work to do here tonight with the title on the line. They're doubled up for the restart. The pace car will pull off here shortly, as it's going to be Mike Alexander leading them to the restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Great start from Mike Alexander as he gets up front there on the 11. Daniel Pope makes it into 2nd. Larson Parker on the high side trying to get up to 3rd. You got Matthew Barkhouse and Kiernan Church still in the mix there. But the 2 spoilers are definitely the non-title contenders of Andrew Fayash III and Brady Weileman. 2 very stout contenders that could still go for the win here tonight. So don't count them out. Fayash might be on the drop right now, but he could be saving his stuff for a later push in the race. That is one of the things you think about early in the races like this. Drivers are tasked with trying to save their tires. And why would you want to risk it and push and ruin your race by burning through your tires quicker? So some of these drivers hanging around at the back there, they might have a game plan. But regardless of those game plans, it's Mike Alexander that they're all chasing right now. And Mike Alexander with 2 wins on the season. The only other driver with multiple wins this season The only other driver with pair wins was Peyton Howell earlier in the season. Everyone else has had a singular win throughout the year to spread it out between multiple drivers. And Peyton Howell hasn't shown up since race 4, so definitely a driver that had the speed and was very competitive amongst these drivers. Pope, he's trying to close the gap up now on Mike Alexander, as these two have driven away from Larson Parker at the moment. Cody Boehm up 4 spots into 20th at the moment. Levin's making a move there. Is he going to be able to attack on the 75 for the lead? He's flirting with it. He's right there. The line he's running a little bit different than the 75's line, and he's making it work. Kind of doing the Joey Logano diamond strategy where you go high, run it like a diamond, and now the 75's doing the diamond strategy a little bit as well. Yeah, I think he figured out the 11 was doing that, and he kind of jumped on that other line, try and complement it. In the meanwhile,